My earliest memories of my mother were happy. But when I was 4 years old, my grandmother died, and my mother changed. It was as if she became a different person. One moment, she would be a scared 3-year-old little boy. The next, she'd be terribly violent, abusive, and even cruel. It was confusing and frightening, especially when Bill came out, her violent alter. I would often barricade myself in my room, braced against the door, as Bill stood there, banging on the door with my mother's hands. I had no idea about the storms raging inside my mother's mind. For years, we suffered in silence. In my early 20s, I was far from home and struggling. In my time of despair, I confided in a church leader. I had never told anyone my story, but I felt safe. So I told him about the strangling, the butcher knife, her suicide attempts, and her drug addiction. And then I told him about the sexual abuse my mother had experienced at the hands of her own father every day of her life, from the time she was 3 until she was 18. He asked if I had ever been sexually abused, and I told him no. He sat in deep thought, as if in prayer. "Well," he said, "it sounds to me like your mother was your savior." I was stunned. How could he put my mother and savior in the same sentence? He then taught me that children who are sexually abused as much as my mother often perpetuate the cycle. But my mother didn't. She stopped it. "I have no doubt your childhood memories are hard," he said, "but they are nothing compared to what your mother experienced on a daily basis. And because she built a bridge and stopped it, your childhood was better than hers, and your children's childhood will be better than yours, and the cycle will heal." His positive perspective on my journey through darkness changed my life. I saw my journey differently, and I saw my mother differently. Sometimes things aren't always as they appear, and sometimes hope comes through the clear eyes of another. There is light in hope, and it is light that allows us to see things as they really are. Many are suffering in silence, fighting battles that can never be won alone. Step out of the darkness and reach for the light. Because of my own reaching, my story changed. No longer was I the abused daughter of a mentally ill mother. I was the daughter of a mother who loved me so much that even in her own brokenness, she saved me. Though the storm raged on, she held on to hope. And so must we.